Chapter 7, the first lesson. Now, playing as Ella. You wake up early the next morning, unable to sleep or eat, or do anything except for wait for Levy to arrive and start your training. Why am I so nervous? I want this. He wants this. There's nothing to worry about. Grab your phone and send Mallory a quick text for reassurance. You awake yet? Don't you mean, have I gone to bed yet? Seriously? I'm single now. I can sleep when I'm dead. What's up? I need advice. You know, that guy I was telling you about? He's coming over and I'm kind of freaking out. 1, take a deep breath. 2, are you wearing something sexy? I don't think my clothes are the problem, but I might be. Just put on the laciest panties and you'll be okay. Bonus points if he can rip them off with his teeth. Mallory, look! Even if nothing happens, a little bit of lace can give you a lot of confidence. Or, you know, you could wear no underwear at all. Oh boy. You shake your head as you say goodbye and toss your phone aside. Still, Mallory's words echo in your mind. She's right. What I need is something to make me look and feel confident. You peek in your underwear drawer, your fingers rifling through the silk and satin until you find what you're looking for. Pat wasn't interested in this, but it's always been my favorite. And I bet Levy will just, know just how to appreciate it. You aren't so straight-laced anymore. Listen, don't blame me, it's literally the name of the shit. Slide out your clothes, strap the lingerie in place, and the tight fits set your pulse racing. This is exactly what I needed. You smooth your hands over your sides and carefully redress in your street clothing. Before you have a chance to second-guess your decision, the doorbell rings. Ready or not, it's time for the training to start. Drawing a deep breath, you pull open the door to find him scowling. I don't like being kept waiting. I didn't realize we were starting already. We started the moment you offered yourself to me, remember that. You swing the door closed and watch as he makes himself at home. Even though the apartment is huge, his presence seems to fill every square inch. We'll start in the room where you feel the most comfortable. Well, in that case, I pick the bedroom. Good choice. I always enjoyed the bedroom. I haven't had much of a chance to break it in yet. You sit on the end of the bed and wait to see what Levy does. A pang of disappointment fills you when he elects to stand against the opposite wall. I'm still not sure how this is supposed to work if we aren't allowed to touch. That's because you aren't using your imagination. The anticipation of what's coming is half of the experience. A delighted shiver runs through you. You fight it. But Levy notices and shakes his head. Lesson number 1 is don't fight your natural reactions. If you want to fully enjoy this, you have to let yourself go. Feel what you feel, want what you want. A good dom will use your reactions to enhance your pleasure. I want lots and lots of OGs to please you. That's a good answer, but it's not the right one. I didn't say it because it's a good answer. I mean it. Still, pleasing me comes later. The conversation about setting boundaries and expectations. That's not very fun. Don't worry, it will be. Patience always gets rewarded. You're already starting to relax and heat up. Instead of ignoring the warmth taking over your body, you luxuriate into it. What's next? Consent. I thought we already covered that. I wouldn't be here otherwise. Nope. There's consent beyond that. Consent isn't a one-time deal. It needs to be ongoing, otherwise you won't be able to figure out what works for you. I think you need to explain in more detail. The thing that you find sexy, and that your dom finds sexy can be different. So different, in fact, that you might hate some of it. I could never hate anything you liked. Yeah, said Minnie, a sub. Don't be so sure. What if I said I wanted to put you on a leash and make you crawl through a public park? Oh, I'm not sure. Exactly. I need your consent before we try something new. Then I'd need to check in to make sure that you continue to enjoy it. swallow, non-understanding starting to settle in. Being in a dom's power doesn't mean I'm powerless. Correct. Exactly. Once you know what you like and don't like, you can find a dom who matches your particular interests. But you need a safe place to explore those limits, and a safe person to do it with. And a safe word, right? That's another thing I'm supposed to do? Absolutely. I don't think we should go any further without one. Choose whatever you like, just keep it easy to remember in the heat of the moment. Pineapple! I have to think of one, because just pineapple, fuck. I mean, it is safe to even put on pizza. Okay, I'm gonna take this serious. Trust. It's a safe word. Basically, if you utilize it and the person doesn't stop, that means you have no trust in that person. And it makes sense. Trust, good. Anytime you feel overwhelmed or uncomfortable, or even just tired, all you have to do is say trust. Have you ever used your safe word before? Yes, many times. Really? It's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, it means you're pushing your limits and exploring new things, which is good. It also means you know when to stop, which is even better. And your partner wasn't upset, even if they wanted to keep going? You should feel comfortable enough with your dom to do and say anything, even stop. If you don't, you need a new dom. I see. Is there an opposite of the safe word? What do you mean? To get things going, now that we've covered the basics, is this when we start doing things? His eyes flash hot fire. What are you asking, Ella? I want to know what to expect. What will my dom want from me? What am I supposed to do first? Good question. Most doms want you in a submissive position, usually in nothing but your collar and underwear. He reaches into a bag and extracts a training collar. A band of black leather fits tightly around the neck, with an O ring at the base of the throat. Is this for me? It's for both of us, but first, undress and get on your knees. It doesn't seem fair to me to be the only naked one in the room. Is that a challenge, Ella? I'm just saying, I'd feel better if you took your shirt off, too. He steps close, his voice low and dangerous. Insubordination is the one thing I don't tolerate from my subs. Do as I say, or I'll show you what wearing this collar really means. At the sound of his rough threat, your whole body lights as if from within. Already, your limbs are starting to turn weak with longing. Yes, Levy, I'm sorry for disobeying you. You can barely hide your smile as you remove your clothing to expose the sheer edges of your lingerie. Every strap and wisp of lace feels like liquid fire against your bare skin. I put on something special before you got here. I hope you don't mind. Lace won't save you if you disobey me again. Not even a little? Not even if they're dripping. Now get on your knees and in a position. You take your time, settling on the floor in front of him. You spread your legs and put your hands behind your back, your eyes on the ground. He circles you, letting his fingers trace the strap of your shoulder. Very good. I knew he'd like it. Seconds pass, then a few more. You try to hold still and present yourself the way he instructed you, but time seems to be stuck. Risking a quick glance up, you catch sight of Levy standing stiff and unsmiling where you left him. Did I do something wrong? He clears his throat and shakes himself off. His hands remain steadfast at his sides. No, Ella, any dom would be pleased to walk in and find you waiting like this. Whoever you find to be your real dom is a lucky man. Disappointment starts to creep up from your stomach, but Levy steps forward from the training collar before you can focus on him. Some doms will want you to put this on yourself. Others will demand the right to claim you. Don't move as he wraps the leather around your neck, his fingers deft and sure. The soft exhilaration of his breath whispers over your skin, and you shiver. The ring on the collar can be used to clip you into place. It's more symbolic than anything else. The other Dom seeing this will know that you're in training, and that you've already been claimed. He clasps the collar. His fingers graze the back of your neck. You barely have time to register the light touch when he jumps back as if shocked. What do you think? I think you're finally ready. He turns and reaches into his bag, this time pulling out candles. What are those for? Do you put them inside something? Not exactly. These are special low-temp candles designed for just a slow, seductive burn. I want to pour this hot wax all over your body. I want to watch it pool on your gorgeous curves, drip down your skin, and leave a trail of delightful pain behind. It's a low-risk way to introduce you into it, to learn what it means to enjoy pain before pleasure. He feels a golden Zippo lighter and flips it open, lighting a candle. This is a personal favorite of mine, but it's entirely up to you. We can always start with something gentler and experience wax play. You lift your gaze to Levy's. Show me. That's my little lamb. You're not afraid to get dirty, are you? One of these days, you're gonna realize I'm not just a curious bystander. I think I'm already starting to. Levy blows the candles out and motions for you to follow him. Come, I think you've earned an upgrade. Uh-oh. Once you've resumed your position, Levy lights the candle. Even though the room is perfectly warm, you shiver as he approaches. Do I just stay on my knees? He circles you with a slow deliberation, his eyes watching your every breath. Yes, no matter what I do or how bad it burns, you'll stay exactly like that, understood? Your throat tightens underneath the collar. Even though your whole body strains to get up, you nod. Good. Now, do you trust me enough to close your eyes? I'm yours to command. Which heightens the sensation. Without hesitating, you drop your eyelids. As you plunge into the darkness, all other senses pick up. Smell, sound, touch. You feel the shift of air as he circles you. Don't look too pleased with yourself. That was the easy part. You hold yourself perfectly still as his voice drops close. It takes all your willpower not to jump when his voice sounds at your ear. Brace yourself, this will hurt. He is careful not to touch you as the candle tilts. The first drops of wax hit the upper slope of your shoulder. At first you register only a small, hot prick of pain. Gasping, you hold yourself still as the warm heat spreads outward, your skin like fire. Oh. Wax play is about taking things slow. I want you to kneel there and feel every drip. At my speed, at my command. Yes, Levy. Whatever you say. You tremble as the heat of the candles draws close once again. A good nom will know how to use the wax to entice as well as hurt, and to make it drip down your skin like a hot, wet tongue. Before you have time to react, he tips the candle once again. This time the wax doesn't just touch your shoulder, he angles it to roll down your clavicle and along the upper swell of your breast. A hot, gentle burn is followed by a tight hardening as the wax cools. Your whole body tightens with it. See what I mean? There's no end to the shapes I can make on your body, the paths I can trace over your skin. Levy tisks gently. But I hate to ruin that beautiful little outfit you put on for me. What can I do to help? This wax is meant to roll down your naked form, to drape and harden against all of you. Yes, please, I want that. Sorry, I did. You know, because the whole YouTube thing. You watch curious as he pours some kind of oil onto a towel and carries it over to you. This should help ease the sting and remove the wax from your skin. The longer it stays on, the harder it'll be to remove. You accept the towel and begin dabbing it on your shoulders. The cool oil is soothing on your bare skin, and the light floral scent a feast for your senses. When you glance up to find Levy holding out a glass of ice water with a gentle smile. What's that for? To drink. We're just getting started. Fluids are a must. That's really sweet of you. It's not sweet, it's a bare minimum. Just drink it. Take a long, cool drink, your body starts to relax. Levy waits until you're finished before speaking again. Well, what did you think of your first real experience? Part of you wants to keep going, keep pushing, but the rest of you is still quivering. It was not what I expected. You smile shyly as you hand the towel an empty glass bag. But it was definitely good. You added the candles to your dungeon. He smiles down at you, a warm line in his eyes. He looks almost tender, a feeling that makes you flush warmer than all the rest of this experience combined. Why are you looking at me like that? Because this is going better than I anticipated. To be honest, I kept expecting you to reach your limit and run screaming from the room. I'm not the type to run away when things get hard. Giggity. You just had to. You wrinkle your nose as you realize that's exactly what you did with Pat. At least I'm not the type to run away again. There's a little bit of difference between this and what happened with your husband, who clearly was cheating on you. Just kind of saying. Bit huge of a difference. Fair enough, I'm willing to admit I underestimated you. In fact, I think you've earned a reward. Do you trust me? I trust you with my life. A low hum of approval escapes his lips. He pulls out a silk blindfold and twirls it between his long and dexterous fingers. May I? You nod and hold yourself still as Levy slips the blindfold over your eyes. The fabric feels cool against your skin, but Levy is careful not to touch you as he secures it into place. Now what? Now we make you presentable, and then head out on a field trip. Do we keep the collar on, even in public? If you were actually my sub, then yes, that collar wouldn't come off until I said so. But under these circumstances... He unclips the collar and tucks it back in his bag. You try not to think about how naked you feel without it, even as you slip it back into your clothing. You'll get it back once we get where we're going. He keeps the blindfold on you as you exit the apartment, get into his car, and speed away to a mysterious destination, until finally, you've been a very patient girl, Ella. You're ready to see your prize. He removes your blindfold with a flourish, revealing an old-fashioned theater. We're going to watch a movie? Not exactly. Not just any movie. Look around, what do you see? I see... There aren't any employees? Not even a projectionist. We will have the whole place to ourselves. I wanted to make sure you feel comfortable for what's next. You glance around the theater, finally taking in the posters of scantily clad men and women in tastefully suggestive poses lining the walls. Wait, are we gonna watch adult films? You said yourself that you have to a traditional view. I thought it'd be good to expand your mind on what's out there. An X-rated film is still just a movie. I don't see how watching other people do it is going to make me more experienced. You'd be surprised. He chuckles as he dims the lights and leads you towards the center of the theater. That's because you haven't seen a movie like this before. You see it and hold your breath as he settles next to you. No part of his body touches yours, but you can feel the heat rising off of him. You can look at him expectantly, but he seems to be waiting for you to do something. What's wrong? Have you gotten already? You must get into position before we begin. You flush, but quickly obey. You slip out of your clothes, and then Levy leads you, or hands you the collar to clasp around your neck. You kneel on the soft carpet, your head just tall enough to still see. Very good. As the movie begins, you realize it's not a typical adult film. Instead of the cheesy acting and no plot, it's a tasteful exploration of the human body. For the next 3 hours, your body is mine to feast on and enjoy. Hey, look! That's what happened to her after the Sparta movie. Yes, mistress. Oh, God. I can't take it serious when I see him. I break every time because I'm just thinking of the palm of, like, little puppy ad. Good. I'll leave the gag off for now. Even a movie like this, you'll notice, consent plays a big role. Consent, and are those pearls? Is she about to put them there? Instead of being put off, you're entranced by the images on the screen. The way the two bodies twist and tangle together, the sharp slap of skin on skins rings out through the air. That'll teach you to disobey me. I'm sorry, mistress. I only want to please you. Feel free to ask me anything you don't understand or want to know more about. I want to know how you found this place. You glance around the dark, intimate theater, which seems to be growing hotter and smaller by the second. There are so many things I don't know. I had no idea you could watch this kind of movie in public. The more time you spend in the community, the more you'll realize that you can have anything you want for a price. As the movie continues, the actions on the screen get more intense. Toys, whips, chains, everything comes into play. I don't know how much more of this I can take. Yes, you do, my pet. You'll take as much as I give you. You're unable to resist a peek at Levy's profile. He shows no reaction to the images on screen. Once again, you wish he was easier to read. Why does she keep stopping just before they finish? It's called edging. By delaying they're heightening it. The Dom trades a little pain now for a lot of pleasure later. The man on the screen isn't the only one starting to feel the strain. You clamp your thighs tightly together, but that only makes the mounting pressure worse. Can I ask something else? Something a little more personal? Ask away, it's what I'm here for. You gulp and try to put your question into words. What you really want to know is if Levy is even half as turned on right now as you. There must be some way to break Levy's barriers and get him to open up to me. Get Levy to answer some personal questions. Hasn't he been doing that very openly without the need for a diamond choice? You point to the screen where a second Dom has joined the writhing mass of bodies. Have you done that before with more than one Dom? I mean... He doesn't even glance at the screen. His amused smile deepens. Yes, I've done that before. You swallow and try to stop the sudden rush of heat that washes over you. The idea of him touching you like that, of him taking his pleasure so ruthlessly, is almost too much. Have you ever done everything in this movie? Not everything, most of it. When you're part of the community for as long as I have, there's little left to the imagination. Levy, what's one thing you haven't tried? There are several things I've never done before and probably never will. Doms have limits too. What if it was something your sub was interested in? His eyes trail down to your collar before snapping back up again. That would depend on the sub and how bad she wants it. You want to ask him about his past subs and what they did to deserve or please him, but that's dangerous territory. He said everything. All your deepest, darkest questions have been answered. As he talks, his knee accidentally brushes against your shoulder. You try not to react with the fleeting touch. That's all something dangerous inside of you. Actually, you finger your collar, the soft leather almost as hot as your skin. What about me? What about you? You try not to react to the hard, warning note in his voice. If we didn't have any rules, if I were really your sub, what would we be doing right now? Just watching the movie? For the longest time, Levy doesn't move, his jaw grows hard and his body still, but he eventually answers. You want to know how a Dom might use dark theater like this to his advantage? Yes. Even though it might hurt. Yes. Do you remember your safe word? Yes, trust. Don't say I didn't warn you. Hold your breath as he sits back in a seat and angles his body so he can watch your every move. The first thing I do is tell you to describe what you see on the screen in explicit detail. Remember, it isn't about you. Would rather hear you describe it. No. Remember, you're wanting to know what he wants. Your throat feels tight and hot, but you swallow and force yourself to speak the words out loud. I see a naked man tied to the bed. He's ready. Ready for what? The dirty talk has never been one of your forte, but you can tell that what Levy wants. Yep, a lot of being cut out of this one. Good. Now finish watching the movie. It's finally getting to the best part. Fixing your attention to the screen is difficult after all that, but you force your breathing to slow and your mind to focus. If this is what Levy wants from me, then this is what Levy gets. As the film comes to an end, you're wrapped up in your overwhelming feelings and of Levy sitting next to you, that you don't notice the sound of beeping right away. I think your phone might be ringing. I thought I'd turn this damn thing off. He reaches in his pocket and pulls out his phone. He starts to switch it to silent, but the name on the screen catches his attention. I have to take this. My receptionist knows not to interrupt me unless it's urgent. He lifts his phone to his ear, a frown on his face. As he listens, he keeps snatching quick glances at you. He did what? No, don't file anything tonight. Put the papers on my desk and I'll get to them first thing in the morning. He shoves the phone back in his pocket, all the thoughts of the movie forgotten. What's wrong? Are we leaving? Your ex is claiming that you owe him alimony. He's gonna try and take everything from you in the divorce. Okay, alright. Yippee-ki-yay. So, you know, for any divorce attorney, you kind of suck. Maybe instead of playing around with your clients, maybe you should, win and then you can play with the clients, okay? I'm just throwing that out there. Without further ado, again, there was a lot edited out. Kinda had to. It does suck, because I don't like doing that, right? I don't like editing anything out of a video. Because YouTube and their, rules and whatnot, I do get it, but then a lot of it just, you have to be safer than sorry, right? So yeah, that's why at anything suggestive, leaning past a certain point, I have to, right? Because if it doesn't go into full-blown bounce, you go wee or anything that can get, even to the point of woohoo, you have to edit that out, so that way YouTube doesn't have a leg to stand on from a removal of content standard. So that way, again, if you guys want this content, you know what you need to do. You need to support the channel, but also, again, show more interest. Show more interest, get more interest for this to be unedited. Especially, like I said, post it on, like, Patreon or something I could do in the future. But again, right now, it's just piquing interest. Waiting to see if you really want it. Because if there isn't a lot that is wanted, I'm not going to spend the time and effort on something that's not wanted, right? There's no point, right? It's better to go on with what life, a little bit of time you have left in life, every minute counts, and do other things that will bring enjoyment versus doing something that may not even be affecting anyone. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Thanks again for watching. Much love and appreciation, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.